Hey guys, Matt from Soundrolling.com. Want to do a little live hangout just for the news that Sound Devices now own Audio LTD, Audio Limited. Kind of very interesting news to hear. Probably a couple of months ago now. When was it? So from November, they became pretty much the main distributor in the US. And so, well, North America, so I guess it includes Canada as well, can't forget them. And so now, seems like about 6 months later, they've now acquired Audio Limited, and so now own and can obviously distribute and work with them more. Oh, sorry, still setting everything up. Figured I'd just do a rough rundown of basically why they did it and try and get some kind of feedback from you guys. This is why it's live. Sup, Alejandro, and others watching. I don't have anything special. I'd love to try and do an interview with them. I was meant to do something with Kish already, just because I was really interested in the A10 series coming out, which is their new kind of the new stuff from Audio Limited, which is obviously internal recording on kind of wireless units and things like that. So lots of interesting stuff. Boom Sound. This happened today. They announced officially today. I think Simon Bishop was one of the first. This is like 7 or 8 hours ago. So pretty late to the party, but I was just kind of wanting to see what the reaction was that everyone had. It's obviously generally good. I mean, I think if anything, what I find interesting straight off the bat is obviously they've been very close. Firstly, there's a lot of things about the SL6, and will it be suddenly just for Audio LTD, or Audio Limited, as I should probably call them. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it makes more sense that obviously this whole super slot thing is to kind of standardize stuff, right? And so if anything, it will maybe even try and further standardize how things are going. And I don't think what they would do is kind of get rid of that. I don't like there wouldn't be anything where there's just great bias. A lot of people obviously saying about the Zaxcom stuff as well, because obviously over in the US, Zaxcom have the patent on recording internally. So whether this just becomes a thing of because it's US only, or maybe it's North American, I'm not even sure. Yes, I am trying to get hands on their new units as well to do kind of just tests, range tests, that kind of thing. I'm just interested generally to know more about it. I think again they took like quite a long time in comparison to the rest of the companies. Obviously, Wizzycom came out. I mean, everyone had kind of Audio Limited were kind of just felt like they were just kind of in the background. Suddenly, like I mean, Zaxcom have always just been kind of plodding along and like getting all their new stuff out. Same with Electrosonics. Then we had Wizzycom come in that kind of shook things up. Kind of feels like the waters are kind of Electro and Wizzycom are kind of, well, and Zaxcom, they're still all pretty much in the bag. And now finally, because they wanted to make so many more tweaks, and I guess because they saw the rest of the kind of competition come out, they instead decided to take a bit more time. And so hopefully that's kind of shone through. Where they kind of fall, I don't think anyone knows, but do get in the comments while we're still live to kind of talk about this. And yeah, I'm just going to log on and see more. I mean, good things in terms of the UK, or just generally, just kind of fixing of sound devices stuff. Again, we don't quite know how the integration is going to work. This is all kind of just my own personal speculation. I haven't talked to anyone at either company about anything. So, although obviously I will endeavor to do so. So we'll see if that happens. Trying to log into all these things again. So yes, let's get back to it. I don't. Let's see. Competition is always a good thing. Totally agree. We've seen it with the belts. Audio Limited is a UK company. Yep. And Audio LTD's only weakness is that it's English. Bless. But the servicing will take place in the UK. Yep. The only thing is how the how much of their staff or people are going to be working more in the US or less in the US, or if there's going to be a cross venture, if they're just kind of getting it just to keep it on the side for now, keep them doing their good thing, and if anything, offer them more support and promotion for the A10 series. I think it's a very positive thing that they're obviously looking to invest more in super high-end kind of wireless. I think a lot of people were wondering, for instance, like even towards the end of last year, everyone was like, when's the next 7 series coming? When's the next thing coming? So this is obviously their latest kind of route that they're going in terms of like an all-in-one system. It's going to be very, very interesting. Don't think there's many downsides. I mean, they keep saying that there's a lockout, but if anything, there's just they're not going to be looking to go. I think personally, if I was already, for instance, collaborating quite strongly, especially when the SL6 was coming out with Electrosonics and like doing events together, stuff like that, I don't think they would instantly go back on that. It'll be interesting to see how that relationship develops, though. Just because obviously if you had a collaboration with someone, then they go and they buy something that you're kind of in the same role at, how that relationship is going to change. But who knows? Who knows what happened in that kind of back room? Is Audio Limited still going to operate under the same name? We don't know yet. We assume so. I would assume so. It does hold a big kind of, still holds a strong brand in the industry, maybe not to the newest people, but it's still been in some of the biggest films, 2001 Space Odyssey, things like that. So in terms of just its caliber, in terms of just still being accepted, it's not the equivalent of if they say bought a Zoom. I think it's just the brand's legacy. I mean, it's been around since 1963, I believe, and so it's probably going to go under the same rules. It's still. I don't think Sound Devices are going in looking to change anything up because they haven't had obviously much experience with making their own wireless, for instance. What will be interesting is just the adaptation with other accessories, things like the Wingman. I mean, if you can get obviously an app that talks to a recorder, but also talks to a transmitter. I mean, there's a lot of exciting stuff in terms of just IP, intellectual property, that kind of can be shared, and you just don't know how much kind of will be shared or how much will kind of come out of it. So SD will not sell Audio Limited in the US with onboard recording enabled, same as now before the purchase. Yeah, very true. And I think that was but it's more interesting in sharing the IP because still, I think then that makes that, because only Tascam is in Europe with kind of inbuilt recorders, and then you have Electrosonics with the PDR, but that's a kind of different, just record only unit. I think then what that means is that it's a pretty big advantage for outside of the rest of America in terms of that patent thing. So going for a strong European market, maybe trying to build themselves up in South America, and you forget the rest of the world. It's one thing to have a patent with like half a billion people, but then you've got the rest of the world. You've got like the other 7 billion people. So I'm not sure if it applies to Canada though. I'm not big on the whole patent thing. So yeah, but it's just going to be interesting to see. So don't want to make this video super long, but basically the whole idea is that they bought them. Let me know down below if you think it's going to be good, if you think it's going to be bad. Recording function is definitely going to be separate. Don't think it's necessarily going to be a bad thing overall. If anything, kind of more funding, more kind of a bigger spread of competitors in wireless is always good. And yeah, I'm just very excited to kind of see where things go. So let me know in the comments down below, and otherwise I will see you very soon for more videos. I'm currently still editing and tweaking more of the sound chats and stuff, getting prepared for a couple of features myself next month. So yeah, it's all starting to get very busy again. So we'll kind of play it by ear. So till next time, see you.